All right, everyone, link in the description. Who will pick the crops? We have a number of NIMBY articles lately talking about how Donald Trump's tariffs and his war on illegal immigrants is going to cause your crops not to be picked, as though it was impossible to find American workers that were capable of picking lettuce or something like that. Is it backbreaking labor? Yes. Is it necessarily pleasant? No, no, not necessarily. Here's the funny thing, though. The same people that are worrying about, supposedly, the plight of illegal immigrants into the United States are really only focused on how they can exploit them to lower costs. That's basically what we're looking at here. That's the only explanation. You are capable of finding people within the United States who are lawful residents and or citizens who are willing to pick your arugula, who are willing to pick avocados for your $10 a piece slices of toast. You're capable of finding those people. It's not difficult. I'm sure that farmers would be willing to pay a little bit more if there were no alternative, aka there were no migrant labor. I think that it's kind of exploitative when you think about it. Here in the state of Vermont, for example, you have thousands of migrant laborers come here every year during the apple picking season, and they pick apples. So basically, you're just exploiting them. You're hiring them because you can pay them a couple dollars less per hour in order to pick the apples. How is this not some form of exploitation? I would like to think that either an American citizen or resident, or a machine, potentially, depending on, the amount of investment you're willing to make, would be able to pick those apples too. I don't think that it necessitates illegal immigration into the country. Are Americans uniquely incapable of actually fielding their own businesses, actually paying their own employees? Do we have some sort of dysmorphia on the civic level? The answer is yes. Here's the problem. Regulation. If you're willing to pay someone far less to do the same work, simply makes sense because regulations on agricultural industries are so high that smaller farms are basically incapable of functioning without doing this. This happens in Vermont with apple picking. It happens down south with cranberry groves and with hog tying and everything else under the sun agricultural in nature. What we've done as a nation is literally decimate our own agricultural industry, making it reliant upon cheap labor. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. All we have to do is produce our own food and eat it. That's basically all you have to do. Believe it or not, if you've got a roof over your head and food in your belly, generally speaking, things will be okay. You can go to work and you can do all of your own things and everything is fine. Unfortunately, what has happened is that politicians have gotten farmers addicted to the crack cocaine, which is migrant labor. That's the whole problem. This is just more evidence of this. This is literally who will pick the crops. It's writ large. They're being very, very honest about it. The legacy media actually being honest is almost a surprise. They're telling you exactly what their goals are. Well, nobody's going to be picking this arugula. Nobody's going to be picking that spinach. The tomatoes will wither on the vine. And then rich NIMBYist liberals will suffer because they'll have to pay more for their tomatoes. Oh, how sad. Well, there is an easy solution to this. Deregulate the agricultural industry and get more Americans in there. By the way, you could absorb a bunch of unemployment by doing so. You'd need several 100,000 people pour into these farms in order to actually do the labor. You don't need illegal immigration. It's never been necessary. But they keep telling everyone that it's necessary. They keep telling everyone, well, who's going to pick the crops? It's literally in the article. Who's going to pick my arugula? Well, I can pick your arugula. I can grow arugula if you want me to. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, you're not going to be able to lowball me and pay me sub-minimum wage to actually pick it. I am so sorry that your avocado toast costs 50 cents more per slice. I mean, you're paying 10 bucks for it anyway, so I don't think that you'll notice the difference. I'm very, very sorry that there's a marginal increase in the price of your products. But at the same time, a bunch more Americans are meaningfully employed, making better wages than the people that are coming in as migrant labor, and the farmers will do just fine. They're already subsidized by the government. If the regulations were out of their way, most of them would probably be able to expand much more easily. Get the government out of the way, lower the prices thereby, employ more Americans, get better food, by the way. What the hell is to not love about this particular plan? I have a feeling that that would go over very well with people. Of course, it'd be a transition period. Socialists want you to think that we need to bring in hundreds of thousands of slaves every year in order to pick apples. I don't think that's necessary. I'll pick the apples myself, dude. Just open up your orchard, let me pick my own. Well, there's my apples. It's cheaper. It's a lot tastier, by the way. By the way, Vermont has some amazing apples. Not a huge apple fan unless it's a Macintosh or a golden apple. But beyond that, you get the idea. We don't need migrant labor to pick these fruits. We don't need migrant labor to pick the carrots. It's not necessary. None of it is. This is a pure NIMBYist article. A bunch of white upper middle class liberals are worried. Oh my God, Donald Trump's immigration policy is going to keep people from picking the food, our all organic food that we need to eat because otherwise we'll starve to death. Well, I'm sure that, somebody can pick the sprouts. If they're born in the United States, they probably are capable of accomplishing the task. You're just not going to be able to pay them starvation wages. That's the only difference. And it's funny that the white NIMBYist liberals want everything to be unionized except for the agricultural industry. I have noticed the irony of this. Not the food. No, 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 no. Not the organic sprouts that I just put on my salad. No, those have to be picked by Pablo from Venezuela. That's about all. Peace out.